Okay, so now we have our basic Webpack configuration made. We need to actually run Webpack to do its stuff. Now, before we do that, I just want to say, if you don't fully understand this code at the minute, don't worry too much about that. As we go forward and we work with Webpack a little bit more, and even towards the end of this video, hopefully you'll start to understand it a little bit more. Just know that for now, we're creating this object which represents options and configuration for how Webpack is going to run. So all we're really doing at the minute is saying where our source JavaScript lives, the initial file, and where we're ultimately going to output it. So when we run Webpack in the future, it knows where to get our source code and where to output it. And like I said, we're not doing anything in between those two steps really at the minute. But again, this is all going to become more clear as we go on. But anyway, we want to run Webpack now. And to do this, we need to install two things. We need to install the Webpack core package and also the Webpack CLI. Much like we installed Babel core and the Babel CLI, we need to install Webpack core and Webpack CLI. So let's come down here and do this. I'm going to go into chapter 19, so CD and then chapter_19. Then I'm going to say npm install, and those two packages are Webpack and Webpack-CLI. Now we want to save these to our dev dependencies so that they're inside the package.json file. So we'll say save dev like so. Oops, there we go. Okay, hit enter and that's going to install those for us. So then once that's installed, we can now run Webpack to do this kind of thing. Now again, the Webpack binary is stored inside node modules inside the bin. And if we scroll down, we can see Webpack right here. So we need to do a similar thing to when we used Babel for the first time. We need to first go into node_modules and make sure you're in the correct directory. Then we go / into the bin folder, then / Webpack. And now we can just hit enter. We don't need to add any other options like the input or the output file here like we did with Babel before, because all of that stuff, all of the configuration is inside Webpack config. So when we run Webpack, it's going to know to look inside this file and do all of this stuff. It's going to find the entry file and output it to the output right here. So if we look in our entry file at the minute, we can see all of this stuff. Let's just delete the class for now. We don't really need that. And I'm going to save this. And I'm also going to make sure we've saved our Webpack file as well. And then what I'm going to do is run Webpack. So if I run this now, then we're going to notice that this has now completed. And if we go over to bundle, you're going to notice something a bit different. Now, this code might look like gobbledygook, but all it is minimized code. So it's taken the code from here and it's squashed it all together into a compressed version so that the file size is ultimately going to be smaller, especially when we start to work with larger files over here. And it's output that to bundle.js. At the moment though, Webpack is not converting our modern syntax over here, things like const and the arrow function and the template string. It's not converting that into older syntax that is more widely supported in browsers. So currently we're losing out on that feature of Babel. But later on, we're going to be integrating Babel with our Webpack config over here, so that when we run Webpack, it's going to take our source file over here and it's going to run that through Babel as well, convert all those new modern features into older syntax, then minimize everything and spit it out into bundle.js. So that will be cool. So anyway, every time we want to use Webpack, we're going to be using a command like this. However, again, it would be a pain if we had to remember this command and type it out every time. So what we're going to do is copy this, so Control-C, and I'm going to go into the package.json file over here and create another script. So after Babel, I'm going to do another one called Webpack, and next to that I'm going to do this that I just copied, which is node modules /bin /Webpack. So now every time we just type down here npm run Webpack, it's going to do the same thing, only the first option, npm run Webpack, is easier to remember. So let me just save this and let me just add something on here just to make sure it's all going to work. I'm going to save that now. Then down here I'm going to say npm run Webpack, because that was our script name. and hit enter, and this is going to do the same thing for us and spit it out into bundle.js. Now it's hard for us to see that it's done that at the minute because, like I said, it's compressed everything, minimized everything into this small squashed code, but we can see over here we have these two logs, link and link. So now we have Webpack up and running. In the next video we'll see how we can use it to start playing around with modules.